Hello my friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Mandy and this is the video that once a month I put out of the books that I'm reading that are not specifically homeschool related. Now sometimes they are homeschool related, but for the most part they are just Christian books that I read for myself. So let's get started. I don't have a whole lot this month because one of the books was very large and it took up most of my reading time for the month, but that's okay because you'll learn why in a few minutes. But I have such a good stack. I feel like May was my favorite month of the year for reading, and actually my two favorite books of the whole year are in this stack right here. I haven't had that much luck this year. I have had a lot of duds. I don't know why. I don't know if it's me. I don't know if it's the books that have been put out lately. I just have had a lot of duds, but this month was fantastic. So let's get started in the little stack that I have. And then if I have time, I will show you some of the ones that I am planning to read and a couple I'm taking on vacation with me in a couple days. Okay, so the first book that I read this month, so many of you were really excited about this. It is Gabriel Meyer's Every Hour Until Then. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is my favorite ongoing history series. Okay. This is historical fiction, but it's also very strong Christian content in here. And I feel like a lot of the Christian books out there are very like, I don't know what the word to say is. It's very superficial Christianity. Not very depth, like there's no depth at all in the Christianity and in the Christian figures that they have. It's just, it's very surface layer. This is so much deeper, which is why I like it. And there is a little bit of a different element. There's a twist because the main characters in these books can live dual lives. And once they hit a certain age, they have to choose which life that they want to live. So for one time period, they live their life in that time period. And then when they go to sleep, instead of a dream, they wake up in their next timeline and they live that life. And they eventually have to pick which life that they want to live forever. So it's a very big choice that they have to make, and it's really interesting. And all of the timelines revolve around a major event in history. So we've had everything from the Civil War to 9/11, which was actually one of my favorite timelines, probably just because I lived through it. It was very pivotal in my life. We've had Pearl Harbor. We've had all kinds of really, really cool timelines with these books. So this one is on the brink of World War II and Victorian England when Jack the Ripper is active. And one of the victims of Jack the Ripper is our main character's sister. And she's doing everything that she can, including risking her own life, to stop her sister from becoming the next victim of Jack the Ripper. So when I went into this, I did not know a lot about Jack the Ripper, to be honest. I really didn't, which is weird because I love true crime. I didn't know that much about Jack the Ripper. So I feel like a subject matter expert now that I have read this book. Really do. This one is so good, but I will say that there is kind of a heavy content warning because it is about Jack the Ripper. And if you know anything about it, there's a lot of words I can't say just because I know little ears are listening and YouTube is listening, and I don't want to make this like an adult content type thing. So Gabriel describes these events in a very tasteful way, but just go into it knowing that, okay? Very good book. I flew through this, but at the same time I didn't want to because I was savoring it, but it was a wild ride. I absolutely loved this book. I cannot wait till the next one. I was on the launch team for this one. I'm on the launch team for the next one. Really excited about it. Gabrielle is one of my very favorite authors. Like, she's in like my top 3 favorite authors, and she's a top favorite author because of the way that she writes. She is an incredible writer. No matter what she writes, I seem to just really take well to it. She is very, very well versed in history, and she can make an entire world come alive. So it's almost like a living book in a way, because you are immersed in their historical world. And I have learned so much about history from Gabriel Meyer's books. Everything from fur trading to different wars to Victorian England, and even some in Jamestown, where she's had different brides stay. She's got some incredible books. Seriously, you really just check out her book selection if you like history. Okay, so now that I have gushed over that book, a lot of you have noticed my educational things have taken a little bit of a turn, and I'm going to hopefully address that very soon in an upcoming video. But my favorite book, I think, of the entire year is this one. So Karen Andriola, the author of Mother Culture, which many of you know, and the Charlotte Mason Companion, has written a new book, and it's called Michael's Gentle Wife. And this is the very large book. It's almost 500 pages, and it's 4 books in one. I have made an entire video about this book and a couple of the others that she sent me. I highly recommend that you go and watch that video for more information about this book. I try to go really in depth. And this one is probably the most in-depth Christian family I have ever read about. They are a homeschooling family. They are a Charlotte Mason homeschooling family, and they are just the sweetest little group of people, and I loved being in their world for the entire month of May. The chapters are short, so it doesn't feel like you have to read a whole lot to get a whole lot. And each chapter is just full of not only biblical wisdom, but Carol, the main character, feels like your very close friend. And you see her going through these trials and tribulations, and at every turn she reacts in a biblical, godly, womanly way. And I love that about her. And it was like a real life example of how to handle different situations that might come up in your life. We also get a really good example of a homeschooling family. This book is set in the 1930s, and it is just a wonderful, wonderful book. And I have to say, I loved reading about everything that Carol was making in her kitchen, and I have several new recipes that I want to look up. I really want to know how to make some of these things because they just sounded absolutely delicious. So I highly recommend this book. This has been my favorite book of the year, this one right here. So go get this book. This is a great summer read, especially for homeschooling moms. Carol has 2 schooling age kids with her husband. She also has a newborn baby. So you kind of get to see Carol homeschooling her 2 kids while taking care of a baby. If you are in that stage of life, like so many of you are, this is a great one too. I just absolutely adored this story. I'm going to keep it on my shelf, and I don't typically reread a whole lot of books at this stage of my life, but this one is one I'm probably going to be rereading a lot, just because it feels like visiting a friend. Absolutely loved it. I cannot recommend it more highly. Okay, next up were these 2 books, a Charlotte Mason Education and More Charlotte Mason Education. These are pretty small books. I went through them fairly quickly, and this is just a practical guide on how to use the Charlotte Mason method with different subjects, and it's very straightforward. This is how I learn. This is very, very straightforward. I love books like this, and this is the kind of content that I try to make for you. Like short, simple, practical ways to implement certain ideas. And she goes through each subject and says, this is how you teach this in a Charlotte Mason way. This is how you teach grammar. This is how you teach literature. This is how you teach history. And then this one has more things. It has more things about narration. I used a highlighter a lot in this book, and well, in both books. Really, really great ones. They're not expensive at all, and these are really good like manuals on how to do Charlotte Mason in your homeschool if you're new to it especially. So the last book that I have for May, I have not got through completely because, again, I'm savoring, and it is Mother Culture. And Karen Andriola sent me this book as well. I have super, super, super enjoyed this book. Love it. She is such a wonderful author. Each little chapter is like a little nugget of wisdom from a Titus 2 woman who is guiding you through motherhood and through life. Now, I am at a stage where I don't have young children anymore. My youngest he's 14, he's gonna be 15 in like 6 weeks. I don't have young children in my house anymore. And I still find wisdom all over this book and things that I can implement in my own home. So don't feel like it's too late. And I think that that's why I put it off, because I kept thinking like, oh, it's going to be too late for me to read this book. This is probably just for moms with young kids. It's not. It's really not one of those books that exclusively is for mothers with young children, which I feel like a lot of homeschooling books are. And there's not a whole lot of material for like my age, you know, women in their 40s who, you know, their kids are older and, you know, you're kind of entering this new stage of life. This one is universal, which I love. And mother culture, really, if you don't know what it is, if you're new to that term, it's really about taking care of yourself as a mom, but not going totally overboard in the self-care era type thing. These are just little things that you can do as a mom to take care of yourself and to take care of your family. It's a lot of homeschooling advice. It's life advice. It is biblical advice. And you have everything from homemaking to marriage to trying a new recipe or a new craft in your life. Very, very wonderful book. I love this book. This is one of her best. This is an amazing book. I'm so thankful that she sent this to me. Okay, so I have a minute, so I'm going to show you some of the upcoming books that I am reading, and you might see some different reviews on soon. So I bought 3 of the Charlotte Mason education books. I have number 1, number 3, and number 6, because that's what Sonia Schaefer said were the most important ones. And I started with A Philosophy of Education, and I am maybe a third of the way through. I don't know if I'll get to these this summer. I don't know. But they're going to be on my shelf so I can get to them when I need to. And then I also bought Karen Andriola's Pocket Full of Pine Cones. And this is a lot about nature study from what I read on the back. And I think this one's going to be fun because my youngest loves nature. He's always outside doing stuff. And he is going into a nature and animal-centered degree field for college. So I think it's going to be a good one for me to read. And then I have Lessons at Blackberry Inn, also by Karen Andriola. And these kind of go together. So I can't wait to read these. I think these are going to be like nice summer reads for me to go through and savor. But I'm going to get through Mother Culture first before I open these two. So really excited about those. So that is my stack for May and some upcoming ones for maybe this summer. I don't know. I don't know when I'm going to get to them, but I don't want to just rush through all of them. I want to really take my time through them, so that's why I haven't opened them just yet. And I have a book that I'm currently reading right now that I need to get through first too. So super exciting, lots of really great books, and yeah, lots of good ideas, educational ideas running through my head that I want to do and get through over the next couple of weeks. That's my book stack. Let me know what you're reading down below in the comments. I would love to get some new recommendations. You guys always recommend such great books for me. I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you have a great rest of your day and happy homeschooling.